Good afternoon. Welcome to TowneBank Stadium here in Newport News, Virginia for the opening round of the USL 2 2023 playoffs, where we have four exciting teams facing off against each other tonight. And then also on Sunday, the winners of the two games today will advance to the next round of 16, which will take place on Sunday. In the first game, here in Newport News, we have North Carolina Fusion and Western Massachusetts Pioneers. So two very strong teams. And they face off against each other. The Fusion, of course, by way of the South Atlantic Division. They finished their division top of the table with 32 points, 10 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. On a winning streak of 5 games in a row. This will be Western Massachusetts. Can do about that. The Pioneers were seeded second in the Northeast Division on 33 points, 10 wins, 1 loss, 3 draws. However, they are the 2021 Eastern Conference champions, so this is certainly a place that they've been before, and this is their 4th consecutive postseason. We'll see if their experience can give them the victory here today as they look to advance and move on to the next round of the playoffs, or if the Fusion can throw a wrench in those plans, shake things up just a little bit. My name is Austin Rich, and I'm excited to be bringing you today's contest. The Fusion wearing the black uniforms. The Pioneers in red. This one is immediately sent deep into opposing territory, picked up by the goalkeeper. And away we go here, the first action of the USL 2 playoffs. Immediately end to end. Right with the goalkeeper on the other side. Rolled out towards that right back position. The Fusion looking to work their way up the field. Content to play it along in the back line just for a bit, waiting for an opportunity, and now they think they have it. Cagliari down the left wing. This ball, unfortunately for him, rolls out of bounds. Couldn't quite keep it in play. It was a nice idea from the Fusion. Try and get some offense going as the ball stuck right along the sideline, still stays in bounds. Now it's back to the Fusion defense. Forward now, Casas finds a little bit of space along the center line. Plays it out along the side and gets it back. Full turn towards the midfield. Strong pass, finds Astencio. Now over on the near side for Clow. On that left back position, currently has his left hand taped up. A hard sliding tackle, good tackle catching most of the ball, but inside through the middle, opportunity strikes, the opening goal for the Fusion. Who else but Enrique Santos to start things off? Just in the second minute already, the Fusion get on the board. Deal a big blow to the 2021 Eastern Conference champions. And number 11 in black, a player I had circled on the lineup sheet before the game started, and that's exactly why he has such a knack for creating opportunities for himself, especially of course with his teammates able to help him out. He's one of the big shining stars for this Fusion roster. Enrique Santos, certainly quite a playmaker. The perfect positioning for him. Finds himself in between a pair of defenders, splits the two. The ball's able to find him as he heads his way inside the 18 with the opening goal. On the other side of the field, there you see number 11 as well in red, Alec Hughes. Hughes is going to have to match that same intensity and speed that Santos has for the Fusion. And of course, he's a name that the Fusion have picked out that they'll need to take extra caution with. With 10 goals in 10 games, not to mention his assists. Certainly a big part of the high firepower on offense. As they're nearly with the equalizer, Hughes getting another opportunity almost right in front of the goal. He's certainly the target man for the Pioneers. This corner is set to be sent in by Goddard. It was flicked on a bit further back by Milosevic, and the Fusion are able to recover. Ball just a bit too far out in front of the right back Connor Hicks. Fusion take over. Decent field position over on the opposition's half. It's going to be a big battle of the offenses. Which side can create more opportunities and then of course convert on them. The Fusion averaged 2.28 goals per game. And the Pioneers just slightly above that. About 2.5 goals per game. It's really going to see which side can have better defense to deal with the opposition's offense, as here's another chance for the Fusion. They cross it towards the back post, headed down and knocked away by the defender, Hicks. As Cagliari, the chance inside the 18 for the Fusion again. Now we'll get a turn to take things from the corner. This right-footed cross is going to be coming in from the near side corner. And comes out short, and it's immediately given back. Casas dropping it. Brela sends it out wide. Chewy up. Gets an across, but this one overshoots everyone except his teammate Bacedo. Picks it up along the sideline. Fusion trying to work something quickly here. Also content to be patient if they don't see an opening right away. out towards the sideline. Casas gets it back. Will wisely play this one into the defense. O'Gara. This draws the Pioneers forward, perhaps opening up a passing lane through the center of the field. Sliding effort. Play on from the official as Pioneers go forward once again. Chocho Simo comes out to try and claim the ball from Santos. There was an awkward little collision inside of the 18. Santos will get called for the foul. It'll be a free kick for Western Mass. Just basically a glorified goal kick. It's about 3 yards further out from the 6-yard box. And a strong header sends it right back into the defense. Asensio nearly able to pick it up again in the midfield. You can see Alec Hughes, number 11, the man up top for the Pioneers. Really trying to push the tempo for his squad. Find that equalizer. We're inside the first 10 minutes still. Fusion up by 1 thanks to a second-minute goal from Enrique Santos. Another free kick gets things underway once again. Headed away by O'Gara, out wide. The Pioneers pick it up in the middle. Barone dishes it out to Hicks. Trying to send it across, he does so towards the back post one time, up and over the bar. A nice effort. A little sequence from the Pioneers. That shot certainly just has to be a little bit lower for Oberak. With the high-tempo offense that both the Fusion and the Pioneers have, they certainly know how to get down from end to end very quickly. So another free kick is called, going against the Fusion. Cagliari was whistled for the infraction. Have to wonder maybe if it's in the playbook for the Fusion to try and step off the gas just a little bit, try and weather the storm instead of looking to go full pressure almost all the time. That pass just out of the reach of Hicks. Wait for a moment as they find themselves in the lead to try and quickly counterattack, maybe find their second goal. But then also, of course, you don't want to be sitting back and playing a defensive game into this Western Mass team. We haven't really been able to see too much of their attacks yet. A good effort by Saraiva. Saraiva de Castro, an aggressive tackle, nearly winning aside the ball back. A throw in for the Fusion. O'Gara. Short pass out wide to Clow. Good look up the field to Asensio. Now a nice give and go attempted between Asensio and Cagliari. Broken up by the defense though. Will be another throw in for Clow. Trying to get a little bit of movement inside B18. Sends this one towards the goal line. It's taken out towards the corner. Clow can't get it off his foot in time. A short pass to Asensio in towards the middle, but offside is the flag. It'll bring the ball back just inside the 6-yard box. Just inside the 18. Just right past the end line. free kick for the Fusion. That's their first of the game. And took a heavy challenge on a header to get their first free kick. Down player just taking his time to get to his feet, and now Cagliari's back up. The Pioneers drop their 4 defenders into the back line and have 3 midfielders almost right in front of them as well, almost as that extra line of defense. Looking like they have 7 players nearly across the backfield. Sometimes that's just what you have to do against a strong offense, and one that has so much speed and quickness like this Fusion roster. You just need so many players to block the passing lane to not create any opportunities for your opponents. As Fusion, we already saw, if you give them an opportunity, we'll certainly bite on that chance, as we saw in the 2nd minute. This is Santos's goal. True up. A dangerous pass along the defense there for the Fusion. Nearly cost them with a giveaway. Again, still high pressure from Hughes. Whether it's intentional or not, certainly being able to drag Hughes around and try and wear him out early on in this contest is a smart game plan. Nice stutter step along the far side of the field. Western Mass will get a throw in out of it. Pacheco was the ball carrier. The throw-in doesn't go their way. Ball will change hands. Chuyup with the throw. Surveys the field looking for a teammate, and he'll get the ball back into the defense now. There's Hughes just a little bit slower to join in with the play. Really seem wise to the tactic as this one tries to get dropped in behind the back line for Cagliari. It's a bit too far out of his reach, and Cagliari stops well short of it. Simo trying to link up with Hughes. Ball poked out towards Hicks. Battling for it. It's taken away by Astencio, turning towards the middle of the field. Dangerous pass in towards the middle. So many red jerseys in the area. The Fusion come away with it now. Up towards the center circle. Chuyup has his pass redirected by Albo. Out of bounds. So another throw in for the Fusion. While they're still trying to press forward, it seems like they have stepped off the gas just a little bit. They're about a quarter of an hour through. We'll see how long, though, as they have possession along the center field line. Towards the bottom left of your screen, Cagliari all on an island out by himself. It's the pass from Klo, and now the defenders come over to close him down. Good movement from the Pioneers, moving as a unit. Aggressive tackle miss. Casas going forward, trying to slip this one in for Santos again, but good eyes and awareness from Simo coming off his line to claim it first. It seems like the tricky thing for the Pioneers is they give up a foul. It's almost difficult to pick up Santos as he's not always in that formation not always at the top of that formation. You would normally see a number 10 slotted. He plays in and around the midfield as well. Quickly tries to carve up the defense when he spots an opening. Almost on an overlap run. That pass off the mark, goes out of bounds. Be a throw in for Western Mass. Send this one down the line, but it's stopped by Klo. He heads it out of play though. So I mentioned the Fusion, the hot win streak, 5 games in a row for them. Foul by Cagliari. Good body positioning by Hughes to pick up that free kick. The Fusion currently 0-2 in their overall record here at TowneBank Stadium, formerly known as Pomoco Stadium. The Fusion and the host for this weekend, Lionsbridge, used to be in the same division. Free kick is sent towards the edge of the 18 and headed out inadvertently by Varela, though he's fortunate that this one stayed on the correct side of the corner flag for him. Played in the same division as Lionsbridge back in 2019 and then also 2021. Coming out of that awkward COVID season that some teams had. Of course, no USL2 action, as you see there defending is Henrique Santos. He's certainly an end-to-end player that you love to get if you're a coach. But both games that the Fusion played here, they weren't able to come away with a win. Now up by 1. We'll see if they can preserve this lead or if the Pioneers have something up their sleeves. Try and bring this game back to even and possibly jump out in front for themselves. Battle Oberock fighting with Santos over on the far side. Fusion able to keep the ball though. Casas carries it through the middle of the field. Good pass to Triup. Skates past one defender. Gets it out towards Santos on the wing. Delivery comes in. Trecosimo can't touch it. And it rolls out of play along the sideline for Pioneers throw-in. Goddard able to win a throw-in for his side despite the pressure. Free kick slows things down for just a moment. Fusion commit their 5th foul of the game so far. Saraiva de Castro dropping it in for Hicks. He can't get the cross off, so it'll just be a throw-in, just shy of the corner flag. Barone. Now it's in with the defense. Milosevic. Cross up the field. Inside of the 18. Klo able to get the clearance. Outside of the 18. It's still with the Pioneers. Goddard. Playing with Barone. Goddard gets it back. Cutting towards the middle. Chance here for the Pioneers. Try and test the goalkeeper. Onside just barely. Dubin. Straight to Forster, who falls on top of it. A good chance for the Pioneers. Nice sequence in the attacking third, really able to hold strong possession inside the Fusion half of the field. Now they have to switch the game plan and move it back to defense. Still got quite a few players up top. Santos pokes it past the goalkeeper, but right place at the right time for Rodriguez Arriva de Castro. He's able to touch that ball just out of the path of the goal mouth. Start a counterattack for the Pioneers. And that shows you just how vigilant both sides have to be with how quickly the teams can counterattack. So a punch from the Pioneers, and an immediate counter punch from the Fusion, and now the Pioneers back on the attack. Pass up the field for Hicks, in towards the middle. Goddard, cutting. Sends it out wide. Chuyup can't stop the cross, and his teammates there to help him out. Pacheco, being pressured by Santos. Gives the ball up to a teammate. A weak pass turns it over, though. The Fusion back with a bit of forward progress as they cross the center field line. Up Casas. Good eyes to spot a teammate out on the opposite side of the field as Leighton able to trap it down. It looks like a foul and a card. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one issued to Leighton. And here we see a yellow card issued. I think that's the right call by the official. If Leighton hadn't brought down the opposing player, Hughes, I certainly think Hughes would have had a great chance to make his way inside the 18 at least, if not have a shot on goal. How many defenders really back and in position? Certainly a smart foul, though, as you deny a prolific goal scorer a great scoring chance, at least for the moment. Hicks tried to service it up. Unsuccessfully stopped, though. Now a chance here is the Fusion trying to go on the attack. Great sliding tackle by Arriva de Castro. Was able to halt Cagliari. Cagliari is still down, though. Fusion don't quite realize it, and now I think they do, as they're looking to just play it out of bounds. They have a teammate down over on the far side of the field. And so now with this brief stoppage, players are going to make their way over to their benches and just grab a couple drinks from the sideline. We have our first official hydration break. Cagliari is back up on his feet. Certainly a good sign. I think that tackle just knocked the wind out of him almost. He was certainly trying to sprint to that ball, and even just a slight tap on your foot can send you spiraling to the ground, as Arriva de Castro. So a little handshake with Cagliari. Nothing meant by the tackle. Good show of sportsmanship here in the USL 2 playoffs. Teams fighting for a spot in the next round coming up on Sunday. That'll be the Eastern Conference semifinal, Monday, July 23rd. Winner of this contest will face either the Charlotte Eagles or the hosts Lionsbridge FC. That second game coming up immediately after this one, around 7:30 or so. Already quite an exciting game on our hands here, and got at least one of these two teams playing again. Not to mention a little over an hour of action left between these two teams at least. We'll see if the Pioneers have an answer to the early opening goal by Enrique Santos, scored in the second minute. It's almost something that you'd see right from the training ground. The Fusion attack early on. Give the ball towards the target man, who is situated just outside the arc of the 18-yard box. A little give and go between him and Santos. Santos stepped in between the defenders, took one-touch control of the ball and fired it into the back of the goal. Chirchosimo, not much he could really do. It's just such a good opportunity for Santos. You just have to hope that the striker makes a mistake in that situation. We're back underway. Cagliari, good to see him back in the mix of things after a hefty challenge. Bacedo up to Santos, but it's headed back by Oberak to the goalkeeper. Chirchosimo wearing the yellow uniform lays claim to the ball. It's a beautiful afternoon here for some soccer in Newport News. 88 degrees, low humidity here, just about 60%. It's a little bit warm, but we still have those hydration breaks to help the players out. Just a couple clouds in the sky as Adam Forster gets set to send this ball back up the field. Well past the halfway line. It goes out of bounds as well. We'll say it's a free kick. The referee will for the Fusion. Just inside the field of play with thanks to a little bit of a push from the midfielders. Klo dropping it back and to O'Gara. Now it's back with Forster. Looking to bring things up. Leighton sitting on a yellow card, and a hard challenge comes in from the Pioneer player over on the far side of the field. It was Oberak who's down. He was the man who came in with the challenge. Tricky play in past the defense up top and just putting that one shy of the goal. Bacedo, a good chance inside the 18. The referee will slow things down and just call for a brief halt as Oberak pleading to his case that he was an injured player down on the field. Chirchosimo gets the go-ahead from the center official. We're back underway. Nice move by Casas to try and work his way forward. Santos gets it off his foot. We've got Bacedo over on the far sideline. Trying to flick it in was Cagliari. Nice idea from the Fusion. Again, unable to convert on that tricky backheel play. Diving header by Barone. Again, he's able to win the aerial duel going up and over the back of the Fusion midfielder. He gets whistled for a foul. Oh, yeah. He won't put up too much of an argument with that. I think that's one of those calls that could have gone either way, as I really don't think that the Fusion player was going to win that challenge, and it didn't look like Barone used the opponent to make his way to get that header. But still, you always have to just be extra cautious when you're going up and over from behind on an aerial duel. Tripped up and brought down Hughes. It's the second time today he's been tackled. A little bit of a disagreement between the two sides as the teams come together. Hughes seems all right as he just tries to shake it off. Now the official marking out 10 yards for the wall. Find themselves about halfway where the official's standing. And then down on the far side of the field is Oberach. A knock that he picked up going into the challenge just at midfield, seeming to be nagging at him just a little bit as he takes the captain's armband off. Hands it to a teammate, and so that means we'll see a substitution coming up. Unfortunate that Oberach's afternoon will come to a conclusion this way as the captain's band headed to Thomas Dubin. Ignacio Albo standing behind the ball. Number of players lined up along the 18. The free kick is sent towards the goalkeeper, punched away by Forster. As Jared Smith comes into the game. Western Mass will get their second corner of the contest. Ball was delivered inside the 6-yard box. Settled down by Dubin. The ball's kicked away by the Fusion defense. The Pioneers still trying to push forward. The ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Klo. Throw in for Hicks. Just shy of the corner flag. Hicks gets the ball back 1 time in towards the 18-yard box. Settled down by Hughes. Making his way towards the end line. He tries to send it across. That's turned away by Tachuya. Smith gets his hand on the ball for the first time this afternoon. Punched away by Forster. Good presence inside the 18 for the goalkeeper for the Fusion. Ball is sent back up. Forster will knock it down to himself. And just wait for pressure to come his way. When you come off your line like that, as Forster did, as Santos pressing forward, start to give the opponent second guesses to go forward, as Forster did well to come nearly outside of his box to meet Hughes. Forster and Hughes getting into it a little bit. The teams come over. Looks like Hughes gave a little bit of a push to Forster, and now Forster receiving one from Vrela, his teammate. I think Vrela, just a bit of a question for his goalkeeper. Why are you risking yourself in such an important game like this? Another center official talking with Forster. Hughes, and then Casas comes over. And yes, of course, that yellow card does come out for Forster for the retaliation. Even those situations when the goalkeeper comes off their line to really challenge the field player, like like Forster did there with Hughes. Almost give up that proverbial hedge of protection around yourself as a goalkeeper. You really come outside your box to try and play the ball. That, yes, of course, there will be contact. It is a contact sport. So to expect that just because you're the goalkeeper, that the other forward whose team is trailing by 1 in a playoff game is going to let off the gas, I think you're just a little bit silly in that situation. So now the Fusion back on the front foot. They'll throw and stop them in their tracks. Ball goes out of bounds. Western Mass has it. Inside their own half. Dubin. It's taken away by Cagliari. Moving down the sideline. It's a step on Hicks. Both players go down. Play on from the official. That's the second challenge that Cagliari's been a victim of, where he stays down just a little bit after the play. Well, your body can take that a couple times after a while. It does begin to catch up with you as the game goes on. Cagliari's back up, though, on his feet. Making his way back to an onside position. Just now making his way finally even with the last defender. There's the ball on the far side of the field. Leighton. Overreach. Hughes going forward. Goddard. It's picked up by the Pioneers. Fires from distance. Stopped by Ogata. Goddard pass to Dubin. The far box. Punched away by Forster on the far side. Another good look for the Pioneers and another corner for themselves. Weren't able to make anything out of it last time, but we'll see what they can do here. I believe it's Smith who's set to take the corner. A lot of red jerseys in the area. Tchuyup just knocks it out of play. Smart play by the Fusion defense there. Anything comes front post, just knock it out of bounds. So gets set to deal with another corner. This one a bit further back, trying to find Hughes. Top of the box is settled down. Smith puts a service inside of the 18. Forster comes up to make a claim, though. Good aggression from Forster. He was able to recognize the lofting cross. Plenty of time for him to come out and claim it. Rosado mistimes his challenge in the air. Claw. Gets it up to Vrela. Santos. Out to Astencio. Drop back, out of bounds. A throw in for the Pioneers. Fusion's a bit out of sorts here for a moment. We'll see if they can regroup. This ball is sent up. The intention for Goddard. goes out over the end line, and a goal kick. Perfect chance for the North Carolina Fusion to slow things down, catch their breath. About 5 minutes away from halftime. Still just the one goal to split these two teams. Coming in the second minute. Scored by Enrique Santos. Santos brought down in the run of play. There's a free kick for the Fusion. They'll take their time here as they get set. Really want to maximize this opportunity right before the end of the first half. Well, yes, you're up by one. You almost feel like you have to at least get a shot off on target, force another save out of the goalkeeper as a yellow card is given to a Pioneers player. So that one is over to Pacheco. For a little bit of hand fighting, we'll say, on the edge of the box. Players jockeying for position as the Fusion taking their time getting the ball set. And now they'll move quickly, send this one up and out, and really just a big wasted opportunity unless the aim was to take time off the clock or give the ball over to the Pioneers. At least they'll say they got a yellow card on one of the defenders, I suppose would be the biggest takeaway for the rest of the game. Nudge back by O'Gara for Forster, as quickly coming in was Thomas Dubin. Jared Smith keeps it in play along the sideline. Heavy challenge, Santos goes down, play on from the official, and it's brought back by Bacedo. He brings the ball backwards. To give the Fusion another free kick. 45th minute of the first half. Referee giving a final warning to Gabriel Pacheco. The free kick is sent up inside the 18, headed by Klo, out along the sideline. A missed opportunity for him. Now Western Mass inside their own territory. Win a free kick. Switch the field, reset the ball to the far sideline. In front of their own bench, Albo looks to carry it up. Dropping it back to the defender, and now Chertosimo. A minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. Michael Klo boots the ball up. The Pioneers take it back in stride, though. Unable to make anything out of that chance. Now Barone has to be a little bit careful with that challenge right in front of the referee's gaze. Cagliari finds his way inside the 18. Low cross, trying to set up one of the teammates, then play on from the official. Headed away. Chiriup working his way forward, firing a low shot, but a save as well. And sent down to the other direction for Hughes. Triup has the ball taken from his feet, but a foul in the process. Now the official makes his way over. Gives a yellow card to another Western Mass player. That one to Ignacio Albo. That tackle just a few moments earlier. I like to see that from an official willing to play on when there's an advantage for the team with the ball. And even though the play wasn't dead yet, a chance for Western Mass gave them an opportunity. And just coming back after the fact to issue that yellow card out is Dubin along the sideline. Seeing the end line, can't get a cross in. A poor effort from Hicks. As the Fusion regroup and look to move back onto the attack. We'll see how aggressive they get, though, as time on their side stays in bounds. Good control with so many players around. Barone with the infraction. Be another free kick for the Fusion. Quite a few fouls here this game so far. 17 of them inside the first 45 minutes. Nine committed by the Fusion and 8 by the Pioneers. Restart by Casas. Trying to find Santos. Step down by Astencio, firing another goal for the Fusion just before halftime. So what a way to bookend the half. 2 goals for the Fusion, 1 in the second minute and then 1 in stoppage time of the first half. I believe that was Gustavo Astencio. The Pioneers find themselves in a pickle, down 2 goals after the first half. They're certainly going to need to change things around here after the break. They want to keep their playoff hopes alive as they look to defend that Eastern Conference Champions title. And a chance here possibly for Goddard. Fires it over the crossbar. A goal kick. Western Mass showing they're not going down without a fight. And earlier in the game, I talked about that counter-punch play from both sides that each team has the capacity for. The Fusion score, and less than a minute later, the Pioneers trying to find something for themselves immediately right off the kickoff. Goddard firing this one towards the center of the field. Picked up by the Fusion, though. Didn't have a teammate there. Settled down by Dubin. Now picked up by Goddard. Has to get this over to a teammate. Sends it out towards the sideline. Does Smith have the legs? Not quite. That's the end of the first half, and we stand here, the Fusion, up by 2, thanks to a goal from Enrique Santos in the second minute. And then Gustavo Asencio in the 45th in stoppage time. We're going to be back after 15 minutes of a halftime break. Don't go anywhere. USL 2 2023 Eastern Conference Playoffs.
vision and healthy eyes are the goal at Peninsula Eye Care. Optometrists diagnose and treat many disorders of the eye and visual system. They're a great addition to the healthcare team. We prescribe glasses, contact lenses, and medications to serve you. I'm Dr. David Buck. If you're looking for a team that will care about you and is ready to listen, come see us at Peninsula Eye Care. In life, some wages go together, like a burger fry. At home, auto insurance from State Farm. The bar and save.
In Newport News, talk to State Farm agent Jimmy May today.
FC would also like to thank these sponsors: Chick-fil-A, Clancy Bates Construction, Marriott City Center of Newport News, Hampton Roads Academy, Midtown Barbecue, the Captain's Den proudly serving Aroma's Coffee, Aldi's Fruits and Creams, Express Employment Professionals, Prime Hydration, Riverside Paper Supply, LA Petroleum Agreements Peninsula, WY Dingley, and Parkway Purchase. And fans for Lucky Fan will win a big money jackpot here tonight. Be sure to enter the 50-50 raffle as tickets start at just $5 and can be purchased online at LionsBridgeFC.com/raffle. Or find one of the signs and scan the QR code. One Lucky Fan will win half of the big money jackpot. The other half will go to tonight's community nonprofit champion, Hilton Presbyterian Preschool. Raffle tickets start at just $5, and you can get them online at LionsBridgeFC.com/raffle. Lionsbridge FC are champions of the Chesapeake for a second straight season. Championship t-shirts are available tonight in the merchandise tent. Supplies are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone. And fans, stay up to date with the very latest from Lionsbridge FC by following the team on social media. Search Lionsbridge FC on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Smash that like button and ring the bell for notifications. And 2024 season tickets are available now for pre-sale. Order before July 31st to get the best prices and exclusive season ticket holder perks. Reserve your tickets at LionsBridgeFC.com. And a reminder that smoking is not permitted inside TowneBank Stadium. And don't forget, there's a time and place for everything. And it's always a good time to put trash in its place. Please use the trash and recycling bins located throughout the facility. And let's work together to keep TowneBank Stadium beautiful. And hey, fans, who's hungry? Tonight's food trucks are Deutscher English, Get Cheesy, Chicken and Grease, Colas, and the Happy Hoppers. Boy Scout Troop 27 is also in the festival area, dishing
We're back underway once again here at TowneBank Stadium in the second half of action. In the round of 32 in the 2023 Eastern Conference Playoffs. Of course, in USL 2 action, North Carolina Fusion currently up by a score of 2-0 over the Western Massachusetts Pioneers. And certainly a position I don't think the Pioneers would have thought that they would find themselves in after 45 minutes. Although 2 goals from the Fusion, giving them this advantage from 2 different players. We get an early foul inside the the second half, into the first minute. That's from Enrique Santos, as well as Gustavo Astencio. Santos scored in the second minute, and then Astencio in stoppage time in the 45th to close out the first half. So that's where they find themselves now. Very solid positioning as they look to continue to further this attack. Astencio takes it towards the corner, across towards the top of the box. Gaceto can't fire off a shot. It's picked up by Astencio, dropped back to Cagliari. This one rolls out over the end line for a corner kick. The Fusion will have just their second corner of the game coming up. There have been a couple substitutions on the side of the Pioneers. As Casas is set to take this corner. We'll introduce those substitutes for you after this sequence. 3 new players, though, for the Pioneers as Casas sends this corner in towards the back post. Goes over the head of Leighton, out of bounds. Looks like it'll just be a goal kick. So coming out of the game for Western Mass, Connor Hicks, Ignacio Albo, as well as Stephen Milosevic. Coming into the game, Jordan Kadua, Connor Bagden, and also Amadi Gianni. So 1 new midfielder, 1 new forward, and 1 new defender for the Pioneers. Changing the guard all around the field. What'll be interesting to me, though, is to see how Jordan Kadua plays. Listed as a midfielder, and you see him right in the middle of the formation, number 6 in red. So there's a free kick for the Fusion again. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a more lean up to play with the forwards, more of an attacking midfielder. Try and play with the forwards. Help out number 11 Alec Hughes, who's had a quiet afternoon so far. He has been victim of a couple hard fouls. Certainly took away any chances that he would have had to try and fire off a goal. Would have been an equalizer for most of the first half. Run for the Pioneers, makes their way inside the 18, cleared away by Klo. Out for another throw-in. Send this ball inside the box again. Klo gets his head on it, settled by the Pioneers, saved by Forster. Second chance coming up. They were deflected en route towards the center of the box. And the Fusion are able to take it away. Cagliari picks it up again, just past the halfway line, avoids a sliding tackle, using his speed to try and get past defenders. 1 touch too many. Couldn't find a teammate, and now the Pioneers come with a counterpunch. We'll see if they can do anything out of it. Smith, service in towards the middle of the field, underneath the leg of Klo. 2 players slide into each other inside the 18. The ball goes out for a Pioneers throw-in. That was a great run by Cagliari, but I think in the end, he beat just 1 too many players, and then instead of giving the ball up, kept it on his foot a bit too long, as now Bacedo Tries to receive this one, but Cherchosimo off his line, out of his box. Good awareness by him. Ideally in that situation, on that last attack for the Fusion, you have Tacheo coming up on the right-hand side of Cagliari. Cagliari's facing that way as well. I'd like to see him try and send the ball out wide, make the defender make a decision whether to stick with Cagliari, as Cagliari would then head inside the 18, or to try and shut down the cross. Instead, that touch just going a bit too far out in front of Cagliari, squandering the opportunity. Another free kick for the Fusion. The Pioneers just getting a little overly physical here at the start of the second half. 3 fouls already with a 0 of the Fusion, specifically in the second half. Cherchosimo comes out, grabs this ball, and will send it well down the field. Stopped by Ogara. In the defense, Klo has this one slide right past his foot. Pioneers trying to take it now. Barone for Goddard. Goddard keeps it in play. And unfortunately, couldn't finish there. For the Pioneers, Mamadi Gianni. A great chance inside the 18, but nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. Dubin able to take away the ball and gets it back for the Pioneers, firing from distance, up and over. No real pressure on Forster at all from that chance. Western Mass still trying to go forward and at least create chances for themselves. Or just because something hasn't quite worked out for them yet, doesn't mean that they won't stop trying for it. Still plenty of time left in this game. And chance, of course, for the Eastern Conference semifinal coming up, and that'll be Sunday's contest. Another attempt. This one by Hughes. We'll take a deflection out towards the corner now. Western Mass getting a fair share of opportunities in the second half so far. Jared Smith gets set for the corner. Can he link up with Hughes inside the 18? We'll see as this cross sent towards the back post. Say it went out of bounds though, past the goal line. It'll just be a free kick. Excuse me, just a goal kick. Hughes had an uncharacteristically quiet night for him, I suppose, afternoon. The Fusion have done really well defensively, able to win the ball in the midfield for themselves as a good give and go, sending the ball towards Santos in the middle. Settled down by Cagliari out by the sideline. Be a throw in for the Pioneers though. Specifically, that middle third of the field is what has made it so difficult for the Pioneers to get anything going on the scoreboard. The Fusion constantly winning battles in the center of the field, making it very dangerous there for Forster. on Hughes to run right by him. Cagliari down by the corner. Surrounded to Castro, trying to shut him down. Drop back. Casas, over to Cheo. Throw in for the Pioneers. Anytime Western Mass tries to get something going forward, it seems like the Fusion have the answer in the middle of the field, whether it's an errant touch or just closing down that passing lane. There's just so many black jerseys in the area, forcing the Pioneers to go backwards yet again. It's a little stutter step, but the Pioneers make anything out of it. Hughes has it taken right off his foot. It's so important for the Pioneers to keep their composure as well at this stage of the game. It's the 57th minute. You want to get in your own heads at this point, thinking that you have to force something to happen at this stage of the game. Yes, you're down by 2, but need a bit of confidence in your own self and in the rest of your team. As Cagliari battles for this one, sends it out towards the corner. Maybe another corner for the Fusion. Looks like a substitution. It's getting ready. Take place for the Fusion. The coach has just walked up. Where's the fourth official with a player card? It's not going to happen just yet. This corner kick is sent in towards the near post. Back post finds its way through. Shot off the mark though from Leighton. And here we'll have that substitution now. Coming into the game is number 24, Michael Hernandez. Michael Clough out of the game for the Fusion. Just adding yet another defender out onto the field, trying and clog up things for the Pioneers just a little bit more. Fusion have another throw. And along the near sideline, so more and more fans trickling into TowneBank Stadium. Second match, of course, coming up after this. Barone wanted a foul, but the play is brought back. The previous infraction. Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader. Coming up, it'll be Lionsbridge FC, this weekend's host, taking on the Charlotte Eagles. Two teams only played each other a couple years ago in the same division. I see Fusion in that division as well. Ball was played short by Vrela out towards the corner. Casas can't get a cross in. Ball's knocked out of bounds for a throw-in. Gianna hands it over to Tachea for the throw. 60th minute. Western Mass have 9 jerseys in, all 11 jerseys inside their own half. Had 9 inside their own 18, so they get set to defend from another throw. Throw is played short. Tachea gets it back. Good sequence from the Fusion. Tachea inside the 18. Fires a low shot. Good save by Churchosimo. from Baseto's effort. Gianna settling it down. Trying to get something started for the Pioneers. Smith, back to Gianna. Overlapping run. That pass stopped though by Tchuyup. Still in possession. Barone to Smith. Sliding effort. Clears the ball out of bounds and a big throw in for Diffusion. As another substitute gets ready. This one for Western Mass. So Dubin sees his afternoon come to a close. Khalid Rose comes in to take his place. The captain's armband changes players once again for the Pioneers. Now it's with Kadua. Baceto quickly moving the ball out towards Cagliari. Makes his way inside the 18, cuts back towards the center. Low shot stopped by traffic. Threw away by the Pioneers, picked up by the Fusion and brought down from behind. Awkward challenge. Coming from Rose, and he gets a yellow card less than 1 minute after coming into the game. It's Western Massachusetts. He's fifth foul here in the second half. None so far for the Fusion as they played a really clean game after the halftime break. The wall positioning gets measured out by the official. Four players in the wall. Positioned by Gianluca Cerciosimo. Goalkeeper for the Pioneers might have to come up big with another save as ball's played short inside of the 18. A bit of miscommunication for the Fusion. Now the Pioneers on the attack. Trying to cut the ball in towards the middle. Makes his way out towards the sideline now is Rose. Took the yellow card just a moment ago. And the ball goes out for a Fusion throw-in. Seems like it's time and time again to squander chances for the Pioneers. Got a chance here. Gianna inside the 18. A little rolling shot makes its way to Forster. Had to come out and make the grab, but inconsequential really. The Fusion look to step back on the attack. At least play the possession game for a little while longer. Offside's the call. The second time tonight. Big unforced error from the Pioneers. They had the ball going forward inside the Fusion half. Rose passes the ball just right out of bounds. Looks like that was Goddard over on the sideline. He zigged when Rose thought Goddard was going to zag and just plays it over to empty space. Good turn through the center of the field. Baceto. It's out to Enrique Santos. Can he do anything with it here? Creates some opportunities, but too many red jerseys shut him down. Gianna gets brought down, no call from the official. Santos gets it back. He's tripped up from behind. Now Jared Smith whistled for the infraction. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes into the referee's book, but looks like we won't see it just yet. He caught the back foot of Santos. Santos still down. And no one really moving on the sideline for the Fusion, so I don't really assume that it's too worrying of a situation. Santos is back up. Here hobbling around is Santos, and I have to think that if he's in that much pain here in the 67th minute, just feel free to bring in a substitute. As the game stands, you're moving on to play Sunday as well. That's why put yourself through another 30 minutes of a physical, rigorous game. Possibly put yourself at a further disadvantage come the next matchup. Here's Goddard transitioning down things on the other end. Ball goes out of bounds. Pioneers corner. Jared Smith moves over to take the kick. Still walking with quite a bit of discomfort is Santos. As the kick comes in towards the back post, just missing there for the Pioneers. Nearly thought they had at least one goal back. That was Barone with the effort. Forster swings his foot through this one, makes his way into the Pioneers' back line. Gianna trying to work something. Barone's pass off the mark, out of play. 69th minute, throwing for the Fusion. Certainly sitting pretty if you're a Fusion fan. They're up by 2 and have had quite a bit of possession here in the second half. Seems like everything is going right their way. Another foul by the Pioneers now. Western Mass getting a bit desperate as Astencio is down on the ground. The official telling Astencio to get up and start play once more. Ball played up for Santos. Takes it in stride. You see that his ankle isn't bothering him anymore. Cuts it back for Astencio. Diving header clears it away for the Pioneers. Second chance for Casas. It'll be a free kick though outside the 18. As the players make their way over to the sideline for a hydration break. Fusion really in a great spot here in this contest. 70 minutes gone by. They're up by 2 and have really done a nice job limiting the offensive chances for the Pioneers. Coming into a game, Alec Hughes was the big player to circle on the sheet for the Pioneers. He's been held to quite a quiet afternoon. No real chances for him. He's maybe had 1 or 2 shots on goal, if that, and It's really been strong defense from the Fusion when they've been needed. The defenders, though, haven't had much to do, though, for North Carolina. A lot of the work has been put on the shoulders of the midfield and the forwards, winning the ball back in the middle and attacking third of the field, not allowing the Pioneers to get forward and get set with their game plan. That's been the big hindrance for the 2021 Eastern Conference champions. If you don't really allow the ball to get up towards the quote-unquote star player, how much of a factor is that player then in the game? In the past 71 minutes will show you it's not really too much of an issue at all. The players make their way back out onto the field. Chosimo swings through this one. Once again, stopped by the Fusion midfield as they're battling for possession. The Pioneers have it, drop it into Hughes. In through inside the 18. It will be a goal kick. Clearly, the Pioneers not happy about that. Looked like it was touched away by a defender. Correction, it'll just be a free kick. Now 8 fouls called against the Pioneers just in the second half alone, compared to none on the side of the Fusion. And really, that's just quite frustrating for them, is when you find yourselves down in such an important game like this, you're seeing the referee blow the whistle seemingly for just the other team every single time. Hard challenge in the middle of the field by Saraiva de Castro. Castro gets his final warning. Asensio makes his way back into the play as Chuyup sends the pass to Santos over on the wing. Chuyup gets it back inside of the 18. It fires across. Oh, not a lot of power behind it. Chosimo able to hold on to it with relative ease. Hughes can't win the header. Second chance coming up. Fusion come away with it. Santos able to make his way around the Pioneers players to get to the ball first. Goddard trying to track things down for the Pioneers. Throw in, makes its way over to Kadua. He's upended, and finally it's a free kick for the Pioneers here in the second half. A yellow card issued to Casas. Goddard's free kick. Grabbed by the goalkeeper, Forster. That's an important save for him. He denies any further opportunities from the Pioneers. Santos immediately makes his way down towards the corner flag. Looking to create something, possibly just take a bit more time away. Asensio popping it all the way back to Chuyup, right along the halfway line. Now inside their own half, they send the ball across the width of the field. O'Gara Just a little bit of space for himself. Ball still in play. Pioneers have it, crossing the center line. Gets all the way out to Gianna. Makes his way inside the box now, cutting towards the center, firing off a shot, diving forward. Looks like he got caught with one of the boots, trying to clear that ball away. Pioneers still trying to play forward, make something out of this chance, and it's tucked into the back of the goal. The offsides flag stays down. The Pioneers have one goal back. After an awkward play, seemed like the Fusion wanted to stop things for the head injury, or it seemed like it. Padua able to continue the play after Gianna was brought down. We have an awkward sequence inside the 18. Now a player goes down, calling for a substitution for the Fusion. The Pioneers not happy with that, as they felt like they have all the momentum now here in the 77th minute. So Alec Hughes finally gets his name on the score sheet. Now being helped off the field is Vrela. So likely we'll see a substitution. I'd be surprised if we didn't. And coming into the game to take his place, Ryan Wessels. So Hughes gets credit for the goal. Now the Pioneers have crawled back to within one. A little over 10 minutes to go here in the second half. So Alejandro Varela out of the game after his leg started cramping up. The Fusion restart the game, and seemed like new life injected into the Pioneers. Hughes quickly trying to close down Forrester, not quite getting there in time though. Santos has the ball out on the wing. A good stab by the defender, Jared Smith, sending that out of play for a throw-in. On that last goal, it seemed like there were mixed feelings among the different players to see whether or not the play should just be blown dead or they should continue on. Ultimately, the play did continue. It resulted in a goal for the Pioneers. We get set for another throw-in for the Fusion. Shoyup sends this one deep inside the 18. The shot from Bacedo just goes wide. No pressure at all for the goalkeeper. 80th minute here at TowneBank Stadium, a spot in Sunday's matchup on the line. The Fusion 5 wins in a row, looking to make it 6, and if the result holds, trying for their first win here in Newport News. Another Fusion player down on the field, and immediately a substitute is waved on. At least the medical staff is, by the center official. So the down player, I assume he will have to exit the game. Although, of course, he will be able to come back in. It's Astencio who's down. He seems to be walking off well enough under his own power. Throwing for the Pioneers as they look to continue moving the ball forward. Astencio given the go-ahead and running over on the far wing. Maybe just felt like a cramp was coming on, and always seems like you can feel it just a moment or two before it hits. Free kick for the Pioneers. About 19 yards out from their end line. Try and flip the field. Sent to Hughes towards the middle. Back across the center of the field. Knocked down by the Fusion. And spooted back up towards Bacedo. Bacedo has it. Skips a tackle. Finds himself inside of the 18. Skips the goalkeeper as well. But runs out of real estate and the ball skips away from him. Well, it looks like it's a Pioneers player who's down on the field. I believe that's Rodrigo Saraiva de Castro. As took an awkward landing when he went up for the header. So de Castro has to move over to the sideline now. Goal kick in Churcho Simo. It seemed like the perfect opportunity to put the game to rest. Bacedo couldn't finish inside of the 18, beat the goalkeeper. The ball outpaced him. Goddard will take the kick. Number of red jerseys lined up on the edge of the 18-yard box. Headed down right in front. Bacedo picks it back up, but it's pickpocketed from him. The Pioneers go forward again. Pass taken away. Khalid Rose attempt to go forward is stopped, and he commits, we'll call it a tactical foul, down on the other side of the field. Rose already on a yellow card. So we'll see if this results in anything further. Rose tries to pawn it off on a teammate, and Hughes comes over to try and plead his case as well. The yellow card gets handed out. Crisis averted for the moment for Rose, seemingly. So now the center official makes his way over to the sideline to talk with the fourth official and the assistant referee on the far side. We'll see if Rose will stay in the game, as his teammates have tried to plead the case for him. Hughes as well, and there it is, the second yellow and the red card issued to number 19, Khalid Rose. So that'll be the end of his afternoon, and it seems like it'll be the end of the playoff chances in the Eastern Conference semifinals for the Pioneers with that card as well. So now they're down to 10 men. Rose getting that first yellow card less than a minute after coming into the game, back in the 63rd minute. Certainly coming back to bite this squad now. Now the Fusion able to almost play keep away here, play the possession game. Don't need to overextend themselves, as no real need to get another goal for the Fusion. Doesn't mean they won't necessarily try. Cagliari takes it towards the corner. And 3 red jerseys keep the ball in play before it's knocked out of bounds for a goal kick. The Pioneers will have to hustle. Time certainly not on their sides. They need at least 1 goal to bring this game back to level footing. Goal kick flicked on by Barone. Picks the ball back up, and he's dropped just inside the center circle. Or just outside of it. Free kick taken by Goddard. Moving quickly is Kuda. He's dispossessed, and now going the other direction are the Fusion. Cagliari was dispossessed, but he had a teammate there able to help him out. Fouled by the Pioneers just inside the field of play. Right in front of the Fusion bench. So there was certainly a reaction there from the contact. Casas gets brought down. It looks like we'll see one more substitution coming in for the Fusion. Free kick makes its way all the way inside the 18. Cagliari dropping it back. The Fusion going forward. The Pioneers. They tried to move quickly, but it's slowed down by the substitution. Fifth foul for the Fusion. Here inside the second half. Good free. Kick for the Pioneers. Inside the 18, fired towards the back post. They're claiming a corner. The Pioneers will get one. Goddard to take this corner. Pioneers down at 10 men, trying to equalize in the dying minutes of this game. Knocked out of bounds. So Bagden touched it last, so a throw in for the Fusion. Of 6 minutes of stoppage time being added on at the end of the 90 minutes. So 6 more minutes to try and make something happen, at least for the Pioneers. Again, another Fusion player brought down. The referee reaching into his pocket. Astencio has had quite a few fouls committed on him, especially in the second half. The card stays in his pocket for now, though he certainly has brandished it quite a few times here tonight, just trying to keep the game under control. Free kick. Doesn't even make it inside the 18. Ball's carried out by Bacedo towards the sideline. Miscommunication between him and Tchoyup. It's a throw in for the Pioneers. We'll send this one down the line. Looks like Hughes got his head on that one, but Western Mass will still have another throw. Played to Kadua. Chosimo. Time running out. Licked on by Hughes. Unable to save it. That's Gianna. Tchoyup with the throw for the Fusion. Will take his time. Sends this one up towards the center circle. Jaco makes the key stop. Sliding effort. And he gets called for a foul despite not making any contact with Bacedo. And it's not like the challenge prevented Bacedo from getting to the ball either. Another frustrating call going against the Pioneers. Ball is sent out towards the far sideline. Knocked out of bounds. Western Mass gets a throw in right in front of the Fusion bench. North Carolina able to clear it away. Up by Pacheco. Bacedo gets it. Makes his way over to the sideline. Now in towards the corner. With Kadua able to keep that ball alive. Foul called against the Fusion. Now more and more fouls taking place here as the clock's still winding down. Smith. Things a precarious situation for the Pioneers. They need to find that next goal. But they're really just running out of time, and with a player issued a red card earlier, they find themselves down on the scoreboard as well as in the numbers game. Chosimo sending it up. It's headed out of bounds by Astencio. Smith tries to move quickly. And he'll get it back. Plays the ball out over the end line for a goal kick. And the Fusion look to move relatively quickly under the referee's instruction. Forster clears it well outside of his own half. Santos comes up with it and takes a shot from distance. No real danger from it though, as the ball sails out over the end line. Played quickly. Pacheco has to boot it up. It's delivered over inside the 18. Chosimo makes a grab on it. He sends the ball up for Goddard. Pioneers. Possibly just one more chance to go forward. Goddard settles it down. Gianna over on the far sideline. There's an option for Kadua. Padua wearing those bright orange cleats as he gets set for a long throw. I'm going to make it inside of the 18. Padua brought down just outside the box. Play on from the official. Goddard sends this one inside the 6-yard box, and the goalkeeper falls on top of it. Forster is trying to make sure there's no second chances for the Pioneers. Now, the Fusion can smell their spot in the second round coming up. Eastern Conference semifinals Sunday night. They look to face the winner of the next contest coming up. Time running out for the Fusion. But if there's time on the clock, I don't think the Pioneers are going to give up just yet. Another player goes down. Chercho Simo taking quite a bit of a trip here, trying to join the rest of his team moving forward. One down inside the box was Gianna. The final whistle sounds, and the Fusion come out on top in such a close game. North Carolina Fusion 6 wins in a row, and they take out the 2021 Eastern Conference champions in the first round of the playoffs. 2 goals to bookend the first half, the first in the second minute by Enrique Santos, and the second in stoppage time by Gustavo Asensio. Asensio's goal proves to be the difference maker as Hughes was able to get one back in the 76th minute for the Pioneers. But in the end, it wasn't enough for the Pioneers. So the Fusion are able to take the victory and move on to the Sunday night matchup. Had quite a few cards issued out, including a red card. I think that might have been the final nail in the coffin for Western Mass. In the 85th minute, the red card was handed out to Khalid Rose. And from there, it just seemed like the Pioneers were in full-on desperation mode. They weren't able to make anything happen. A physical game. And we'll see how the Fusion can carry on in Sunday night's game against either the Charlotte Eagles or Lionsbridge FC. See, it'd be a good thing that they do have a day off tomorrow to try and rest, recuperate in a physical, hard-fought game between both teams. Of course, want to congratulate Western Mass on a fantastic season. It didn't quite end the way they wanted it to, but it does stop here, unfortunately, in Newport News. A great showing in front of a good crowd in a neutral site game. North Carolina Fusion moving on, though. We're going to take a brief break and be right back with the Charlotte Eagles. They take on this weekend's host, Lionsbridge FC.